I'm shutting down, Jono. I've not gone outside.
Hey guys, welcome to Wait What Season 2, Episode 2. I'm here with Stephen, as always.
No, you're not. You're at home.
Well, I mean, we're here.
Well, we're in the cyber reality that is here.
We are together in waveforms.
That is true. How are you? You alright?
I'm alright, thanks, mate. How are you doing?
I'm alright, mate. Yeah, I'm not too bad.
It's been quite a while since we spoke.
yeah, it's been real long.
Yeah, what, a good 20 minutes?
Yeah, 100%, man. Damn, way to give away our bulking recording schedule.
Well, a lot's happened in the last 20 minutes, so...
Yep, I got another drink. I heard your cat meow.
Yeah, Hudson came to say hello.
Yeah, we decided on that extra new jingle that I mentioned in episode 1 that I might add in. We found it, so that's good. Big news, big news, Jono.
Yeah.
You already know this news, but they don't. Who's editing this episode, Jono?
Oh, is this the one I'm doing?
You're editing this episode.
Oh, no.
So if this one's shit, you know who to blame. If the second episode's shit, can you just tweet us with hashtag Jono can't edit? What have we got coming up today, Jonty?
I've got a nice little news story about TikTok.
Nice.
I've got a little update on the Mars lander.
Okay.
And a little story about everyone's favourite streaming service, Netflix.
Netflix! Do love Netflix. I'm using a lot of Amazon Prime at the moment, though.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I'm rewatching. Well, I only saw like the first few episodes, and the other half saw more of it. But we're rewatching all of Lost.
Oh, okay. That was one I couldn't get into.
Yeah, see, I never tried before, but now I've like sat down and watched it. Actually, quite like it.
Fair enough.
I know. I'm also on my own watching Elementary. Which, do you have Amazon Prime?
I do, yes.
Watch Elementary.
Yeah.
So good. Can you guess what it's about?
I think I can.
Have a guess.
Is it about a school?
No. Do you know what it's actually about?
Is it about Sherlock Holmes or John Watson?
Yeah, but not John Watson. Oh no. Back the truck up. It's 2020. No, this wasn't made in 2020. But it's 2020. Bend the gender ideas, man. Come on. It's Joan Watson.
Ah, okay.
Yeah, and she's played by Lucy Liu.
Oh, cool.
And the dynamic is good. I won't say too much about it. I think you should watch it, though. It's really good. The episodes are not only interesting in the ideas and the science of how it works, but also the way the characters work together is good. And it's a nice little twist on a normally standard tale. There's like 5 seasons, so...
I have added it to my list right now.
Sweet. That makes me feel good. It makes me feel like you appreciate everything I say. Oh, but some things I say.
Yeah, about 3/4.
What? 3/4 of the time you don't appreciate what I say? Well, coming from my end today, I've got trainers that went viral. I won't say why just yet. And also, coming back at you, I've got a little personal story of my own. And that's also of the supernatural kind.
Oh.
So yeah, I think last time we left that to the end. I don't want to do that this time. So I'm going to get that out there a bit earlier on.
All right. Are you gonna kick us off with that, or?
I can do, if you'd like me to.
Yeah, why not?
Okay. The year was... Actually, I have no idea what year it was. I was still living back at home. So I moved out when I was 19. So it was 9 years ago, nearly. So it must have been... I'm just trying to think. I think I was probably 16, I want to say. I want to say 16. So 2008?
I remember little young Stephen, no beard.
Oh God, don't even talk about that. I'm disgusted that people might know that I didn't have one. They've never even seen me. They don't know what I look like now. They don't know what I look like then. But the fact that the listeners have just gone, "Oh, he used to not have a beard," disgusts me. I came out with a beard. All right, just deal with it. I didn't come out with a beard. I was born with a beard. What a shock for my girlfriend. I knew that beard was too perfectly preened.
He spends a lot of time with that Jono character.
Shh. Yeah. I want to say 2008, maybe. So I would spend half my week at my dad's house and half my week at my mum's house. They were quite close. Well, not that close. They got divorced. Way! But they were quite close geographically. Nice little self-burn there on my parents' marriage. Oh, I'm really happy with that one. So I spent half my time there, and one evening I was at my dad's house, and the spare room had been set up for me by my dad as like a little music studio. I had a wait. You remember it?
Yeah,
I had
remember it, yeah.
At one point I had an electric drum kit in there. I had an amp, keyboard, a bass, a laptop, and like an audio interface. I was a lucky lad. So I was there. Dad was at work. It was I want to say it was either earlier in the year or late in the year because it was dark, but it wasn't late. It was probably only like 5:30, 6:00. So, we're talking, I think Dad would have been home at like 6:30, 7:00. But I only had the one light on because, save the world, turn all the other lights off. This is before people could readily get LED bulbs as well. So, cost a lot of money and you didn't want to burn the bulbs out. I'm talking like it's a whole other lifetime ago, but it does feel like that. So I'm there working away. I've got my headphones on. I'm laying down some little like really basic drums so I can like start writing some guitar over the top. And I take my headphones off and I can hear what I can only describe as like people downstairs talking. Now, first of all, have you heard this story?
I don't think I have.
Okay, brilliant. Second of all, you remember the layout of my dad's house, right?
Yes, yeah.
Okay, so I come out of the music room. I walk to the end of the hallway. I hang a right and then go back down on myself. Go back on myself to go down the stairs. Little Marilyn Manson there. Now I'm downstairs in the like hallway / entrance bit of the house. Come off the stairs and then obviously walk through there and you get into the lounge. Nice long lounge with dining room at one end, and the other next to the dining room is the kitchen. So I went down there and I didn't turn any lights on because at this point I'm thinking to myself, someone's broken into the house. That's the first thing I thought. I've had headphones in. I wouldn't have heard it anyway. Fuck, someone's in the house. I need to sort that out. So I go down there. I've got a baseball bat, I think, at this point. And I head downstairs to see what's going on. So I just opened the door. I'd lived in this house since I was like 2, so I know where every single floorboard creaked, right? So I'm like tiptoeing around all the creaks, trying to get, not to let anyone know that I'm in. Although if they broke in through the front, I was at the front of the house. They saw the light. So I'm coming down the stairs, and as I'm getting into the lounge, so obviously the lounge door is the very opposite end of the lounge to the kitchen door, yeah?
Yep.
I can hear it sounds like 2 people are whispering as if they're like deciding what they're going to take. I can hear it louder now than I could when I was upstairs. When I was upstairs, it was almost like someone was talking normally, and it's almost like I had gone downstairs and someone was aware and they were kind of discussing what they were going to do through whispering. So I was like, shit, okay. Like, my adrenaline's fucking high at this point. So I'm walking along, and there was a painting on the wall that was like across from the kitchen, and there was just enough light from like the street lights out the front and just like the general moonlight that I could see into the kitchen slightly from the like in the reflection of the painting. So I'm like, okay. When I look in and I can't see fully around the corner, but I can just see one cupboard's open. I'm like, okay, that cupboard wasn't open. Like, I came in, went in, got a glass of water. That's not where the glasses are kept, and went straight upstairs. And I hadn't left the room for a while, so I was like, okay. So I sort of span around the corner, slammed the kitchen light on, ready to like hit anyone I could see, and there wasn't anyone there. So at this point, I'm still thinking to myself, okay, well, there's kitchen windows there, the doors opening out onto the patio are right by the kitchen as well. So I'm thinking to myself, okay, maybe I've got to the lounge door, and the way that the person's come in, they've gone back out. So the next thing I do is, okay, I need to, just make sure the house is secure. At this point, all I'm thinking at this point is that someone's tried to break in.
Yeah.
So I just check the patio doors, both locked. Okay. Check the windows, all locked. I'm like, okay. So like at this point, it's weird. Now there's a couple of places you could hide in the lounge. So the next thing I do is turn the lounge lights on, being super fucking like bolshy and vocal at this point, and I'm just checking these places out, and there's nothing. And I'm like, right, okay, this is weird. So now I'm like, the next thing I need to do is just make sure that I hadn't like gone downstairs in the dark, gone in through the front room, and someone's been underneath the stairs when I've gone down, and then they've either gone out the front door or upstairs.
Yeah.
So I check the front door, still locked. So I'm like, okay, good, that's fine. So at this point, I'm just thinking, someone's just tried to get in the house or been in the house still. Things are still a bit weird. It feels weirder now because, I've checked front door, back door, windows and stuff. But, I haven't been upstairs. I want to double check that I haven't missed something in, like, the commotion. So I'm... Oh my god, I've completely forgotten, like, one really fucking crucial part of this story. When I'm in the kitchen checking stuff out, I get a phone call, right, from Tasha, and I'm on the phone and I'm explaining what just happened, and I'm like, stay on the phone. I'm going to go check upstairs. Oh my god, how did I forget that part of the story? Right, I only realised I'd missed it when I realised how crucial it was for the next part of the story. Okay, so I'm on the phone now, right? I'm kind of carrying it again because I don't want to talk. So I get 2 or 3 steps upstairs, and I hear the bottom stair creak, and didn't really think anything of it at the moment. I just sort of thought to myself, okay, well, the house is a bit older. Maybe it's just creaky. So I took another 2 or 3 steps up, and the like second stair like creaked. So I was like, okay, that's weird. It's now starting to feel weirder. So I go up one more step and I stop, and then a couple of seconds later, I hear the next step go. So I was like, okay. So I kind of like dart up the stairs and get to the top stair, and for like a second, there's no noise, right? And I'm just like, oh, stupid me. Like, what am I doing? Come on, man. You're a fucking, you're going to be an adult soon. Like, this isn't funny. You're being stupid. And then like midway through that thought pattern, the stairs like creaked, and it was like creak, 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 like getting closer and closer at a better speed, as if like me going up the stairs at a speed had caused it to speed up. So I then go, I'm then in full on fuck this mode. So run round the banister into the spare room and shut the door. And as I shut the door, I hear the floorboards creak a little bit, and then louder than probably the rest of the time, I hear like a proper like footsteps outside the bedroom door. And now I'm like, fuck. Like full on, like I'm feeling less like there's a person there, but also I'm thinking if there's a person there, they're ballsy enough to chase me up the stairs of my own house. So I kind of like thought about what I was doing for a minute, didn't really know what I wanted to do. And so I kind of like put my foot against the door. I don't know why, just like the next thing I thought of doing. And then I heard Tash on the phone be like, "You're right," because I hadn't said anything. And I was probably breathing heavier at that point.
Yeah.
And I was like, yeah. Did you hear that? And she was just like, I heard some creaking of stairs. Then I heard like 2 heavy footsteps. And then now I'm asking if you're okay. And I was like, okay, cool. I'm not losing my shit then. And then I basically said, I'm going to put the phone on the side and open the door. and then check out the rest of the rooms. Like, if you don't hear me say anything back in like a minute or two, like, you know where I live, like, call the police. Because again, at this point, there's still a part of me at this moment that's thinking, like, there's just someone in my house. Yeah, so I go in. Took about 7 years of courage to open the door. Opened it up, and then sort of ran between the bedrooms and the bathrooms and stuff like that, and had a look. And there was no one in the house. And I was like, okay, fine, screw this. So I went back in, and I was thinking, right, I'm just gonna go around to Mum's house. Like, this is stupid. I'm staying here tonight. I'm gonna go around to Mum's house for a bit, and then I'll come back when Dad's in. And I go back and I close the door to again, but like I can now see. I just kind of like, when you just tap the door as you walk through it just to close it too. It only shut like half shuts. It was half open, and I heard the floorboards creak again. And I looked around, and there was like no one in the hallway. And then I heard it creak again.
Yeah.
And I'm like, okay, just actual fuck this. And then I did possibly the least heroic thing I have ever done or will ever do in my entire life. Right?
Yeah.
And I could have lied and said something else happened. I won't do that. I decided that rather than... At this point, I've turned my laptop off. I've got it in my bag. I'm ready to go to Mum's. Now, rather than going back through that door, through the house, down, through the front bit, unlocking the door and leaving, I decided, fuck this. Turned the light off and went out of the front porch. Yep. Manly. I got out the big window, stepped on the porch, pulled it to, leant in through the small window and locked that window with the actual key. Threw the key back onto my desk so you wouldn't be able to reach it, and then just pushed that window too. So like the small window was so small that no one's getting in. And then I left. And I went around to Mum's, and I think I stayed there that night. Fuck that.
Wow.
Fuck that so much.
Yeah, that's pretty creepy.
Yeah, it was pretty creepy. My dad's house was kind of creepy though. Do you remember me ever saying to you anything about that house?
Not really, no.
So, like, there was a time before we went to Cornwall, me and Dad, and I woke up, and so we were leaving at like 2 or 3 in the morning, and basically I was laying downstairs on the sofa watching a film, and Dad was on the other sofa, and I fell asleep, and then as we do in our family, my dad joined in and also fell asleep, and then my alarm goes off, and it's like 2:30. And it was basically, we were going to leave at like 2:30, 3 o'clock to get on the road to go to Cornwall. It was about a 4-hour drive. And so we thought we'll get there to go and see family. It's going to take us 4 hours. We'll stop for a little snack and a bit of a break. And then we'll get there for, 8 o'clock-ish. And then by that point, we're not waking anyone up when we get there. So, and we were staying at a campsite and stuff. So it was like, get there, unpack, then go see friends and family. So I wake up and my dad's like staring at the front window, and where I'm laying, my head's closer to the window than my feet. So I wake up and I look at my dad and I'm like, "You're right." And he doesn't say anything, and I was like, "Dad," and he just went, "Shh," and I was like, "Okay," like he's not one to shush. So I just turned round, and I could see it looked like probably like a 7-year-old kid. With, when you're trying to look through a window and you like put your hands over your eyebrows,
Yeah.
like caved around your eyes, and you're looking in, and I could just see this kid looking in the window, and I was like, "Why are you staring?" And he was like, "Look at him," and I was like, "Yeah," and he was like, I think he said something like, he doesn't look real or something like that. And like, it didn't look like it would have looked if someone was actually at the window. Like, there was lights on in the house, their face would have been lit up.
Yeah.
So I just went out the front of the house and looked, and there was no one there. And then when I came back in, there was no one at the window. And me and Dad just packed our stuff up and went to Cornwall for a week. But then, and again, like there'd be times when, and like a couple of people, like friends of mine, saw this without me ever telling them. There was an old guy. God, this sounds like such like standard ghost story, all just kids and old people. But there was an older guy who I used to walk if I'd walk into the living room, on the left-hand side of the living room, sorry, on the right-hand side of the living room door, there's like, it goes about a meter in, and then that's where the chimney starts. There's like a little corner.
Right.
And until we put something in that corner, you could walk in sometimes and just catch this like guy in the corner of your eye, just stood in the corner and like not facing away, just like looked like he was just casually leaning against the wall, like nothing ominous, like didn't look like he was like evilly staring or anything like that. No like cliches or anything, just literally looked like someone was just leaning against the wall. And the first time I saw that, like, it made me jump out my skin, but like it didn't feel like it was anything supernatural. I just felt like my dad had a friend over, you know. And like I span round, and then there was no one there, and then I called for my dad, and he was in like making like lunch or dinner in the kitchen, and I was like, I said to him what I'd seen, and then he just smiled, and I was like, what? And he was just like, I've seen the same thing like 3 times, and I was like, okay, cool. As a kid, when you see something as a kid, like, or something weird happens, and you tell your parents, they're like, "Don't be silly, that doesn't exist."
Yeah.
Imagine now at this point, I think I was like 10 or 11. I go in, Dad, guess what I saw? Blah blah blah, and you expect to hear, "Nah, don't worry, no, that's what." Imagine, to my horror, oh yeah, I know what you mean. I've seen him. I was like, shit.
At least it's not as bad as just like if he gets in all hushed tones and just being like, "I've seen him too."
Oh my god, if you leant down and went, "Don't talk about him. He stands at the end of my bed." Fucking pervert. Yeah, like, do you remember? Actually, yeah, you probably wouldn't have never seen, but we had an old cat called Lucy.
Right.
And she died when I was like 12 or 13, and for like months afterwards, I would be laying in bed, like either in the morning or I could wake up in the middle of the night or anything, and like you're just laying down, your legs are slightly apart.
Yeah.
She used to fall asleep in that gap, and on multiple occasions I woke up and like pulled the cover and couldn't move it. Like I could feel like a warm lump, like, or dent in the bed covers. So that one was weird, but that was like a comforting weird.
Yeah.
But yeah, that became like 3 stories in one.
Well,
Shit.
I'm suitably creeped out now.
Yeah. Damn.
You know I love a creepy story.
Yeah, nothing like that in this house, which is nice.
Well, that is good to know.
Nothing like that in my mum's house either, really. Which is nice. And I don't think anywhere else ever that I've ever been. So, shit. Right, tell me some stuff.
All right, should we talk about TikTok?
Yeah.
Are you on TikTok?
No. There are. I'm going to say this, and if my friends listen to this and like know it's me but haven't told me that they listen, I don't give a shit if that person is listening, right? I have got some friends that always post TikToks on their Instagram, and they're shit. So shit. Like, I've seen some, and I'm like, well done, that's creative, good work. There's some recently where a friend of mine is just dancing to tracks, but it's not good dance. It's like 2-3 Jaeger bombs deep in a club dancing. Like, it's not good. I'm gonna have to down a bottle of wine before I watch it, and then it might be okay.
Well, the good thing about that is that, judging by this report, that's probably not going to be seen by anyone.
I've seen it. The damage is fucking done.
Yeah, but you said they've shared it to Instagram.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay, so if you're actually using the TikTok app, then
No.
you probably wouldn't see that, because there's a recent report come out that TikTok have been instructing moderators to censor and suppress posts from users they deem to be too ugly or poor for the platform.
Wow. That's all of my friends.
Basically, they're artificially limiting the audience reach for those that they think aren't good looking enough or rich enough and essentially barring them from appearing on the For You section.
Wow.
Do you want to hear some of the physical traits that are outlined in the company guidelines
Yes.
for things to block?
Of course I do.
So we have abnormal body shape,
Okay.
ugly facial looks.
Ugly facial looks.
Yeah.
That's managerial writing if ever I've heard it.
Dwarfism.
Oh, goodbye, Craig.
Obvious beer belly. Goodbye, Jono.
Hey.
Too many wrinkles.
Okay, goodbye, Gordon Ramsay.
And eye disorders.
Oh.
The platform's algorithm apparently also doesn't look too favourably on videos where the environments are shabby and dilapidated, or if they're filmed in slums and rural fields.
Wow.
Yeah.
Shit.
It's apparently it's not just limiting to those that they deem too ugly or poor. It's also just censoring people with disabilities, political speeches, and negative political opinions.
So, like, I mean, don't get me wrong. I don't think that TikTok are wrong for maybe removing politics from an otherwise generally just fun app.
Yeah, that's kind of fairer.
What I'm not cool with is the disabilities and the general just judging by looks or monetary.
Yeah, pretty much.
That's pretty bullshit.
Yeah.
Fuck you, TikTok. Hashtag boycott TikTok. Do you know how many T's would be in boycott TikTok?
Too many. So I won't be on TikTok anytime soon. That's for sure.
I mean, you weren't going to be anyway.
Oh, bring back Vine.
Mate, I loved Vine. We used to have a Vine, didn't we?
We did.
Yeah, from our... I knew you said the name of it then. We nearly too much personal information. I'd have some more shitty fan art.
Oh, I love that picture so much.
No, that's never a good thing. Let's move on.
I'm Bill.
Connor.
Steve.
And we're Rage Against the Mainstream, your full spectrum source for all things music, insight, and opinion. Join us every Monday at 11 a.m. Eastern Standard Time for moments like these and more.
George Harrison, famous for his holiday single Ding Dong Ding Dong, and his wife were attacked in their home during a robbery.
U2's concert in Rome sets off earthquake alarms as a result of noise level.
Who cares?
Who cares? Ja Rule, listen,
Ridiculous.
bud, I'm going to tell you right now, go Google false advertising and see what happens as a result of a company that literally falsifies a brand.
If you like what you just heard, you can find us on all of our social medias at RATM Podcast or wherever you stream podcasts. We hope to see you soon.
So, NASA engineers
Yep.
have fixed a problem on the Mars lander.
Nice.
It was stuck on Mars when its 15-inch digging probe...
Wait! You must have known that was coming when you were about to say 15-inch digging probe to me.
Yeah, but I just couldn't stop myself from saying it.
Well, I'm glad. Carry on.
Yeah, I might just cut this whole story.
No, I want that to be dick puns galore.
So the Mars lander, stuck in the soil.
Yeah.
There were a few failed attempts to free it, but they did eventually manage to get it to free itself by encouraging it to basically just hit itself with its jackhammer-like shovel.
So what you're saying is, the 15-inch digging probe got stuck, and the best way for it to get out of trouble was to beat itself off.
Yep.
Oh, fucking hell. Amazing.
It's possibly the best example of percussive maintenance that I've heard of.
I like percussive maintenance. Makes me feel better.
And yeah, it's all running as it should be again. There was no damage caused because obviously that does seem quite risky.
Yeah, it does. Yeah.
But it's not like they can just send someone over to go and free it. So
No, that's true. That is true. But yeah, I mean, that might be my favourite story ever. Okay. On to also weird stories. I'm going to read you the headline. Trainers go viral due to their bizarre resemblance to Adolf Hitler.
I have seen these.
I mean, come on. They look like Hitler.
It was one of those things where at first I just saw the trainers and didn't quite get it, and then it did the side by side with the picture, and it just clicked, and now I cannot unsee it.
Please tell me you've seen the actual picture where someone superimposed his head.
Yeah, I saw that as well.
That is so good. I don't have anything else to say about that because all I want is for people to go to the show notes and look at it.
Yeah, you have to see it, and then you will never be able to unsee it.
Yeah, like imagine looking down at your feet and just being like, "Oh, they look like Hitler." One trainer fan wrote, "I never noticed. I used the shoe, not shoes. I only put one on twice and never realised it until now. But now I've gotten rid of them. I've already sold them." A second gave it an 8 out of 10 on the Hitler scale. Other people have said that it looks a bit like Edgar Allan Poe. So
Interesting.
yeah. Love Is Blind has been renewed for 2 more seasons. Sorry, I just saw the advert for that. I got really excited. Love Is Blind is great. I wish you liked that, because then we could have a little chat about it. But you don't, because you've got taste. I hate myself for liking it, right? Here's a tangent. The first episode had no tangents. We were just getting back into it. Season 2, episode 2, that's where the tangents are back. What a fucking show. It is the weirdest fucking thing I've ever seen. Like, ever.
I think I watched about half an hour of an episode, and that was all I could manage.
It's so fucking strange. But I watched it till the end, and I don't regret 1 minute. I do not regret a fucking thing. It was so good. Okay, tell me your last story.
All right, well, it's a nice little segue. Speaking of a show on Netflix, to talking about Netflix.
Oh yeah, shit, that was unintended. That'd be £10.
No.
Oh shit.
So Netflix are currently being sued by Broadcom,
Right.
a company in California,
Right.
which designs chipsets, which is used in the like cable set-top boxes.
Yep.
So what they've said is that Netflix have caused and continue to cause substantial and irreparable harm to the Broadcom entities that sell these chips used in the set-top boxes that enable traditional cable television services.
Yeah.
So basically, they're saying that Netflix is so successful as a streaming service that less people are buying cable TV, and it's ruining their business.
So what they're doing is crying like bitches because their butt hurt.
Pretty much.
Yeah.
They have got an underlying case about Netflix infringing on patents, but that seems to be a much smaller part of this just general crying out that Netflix are more successful.
But you guys have more watchers. Wow.
Do you have a set-top box? You don't, do you?
No, I've got my cable plugged into my Freeview back on TV.
Yeah, you've got the Freeview. So like I have cable.
Yeah.
And obviously like you rent the boxes from whatever your service provider is.
Yeah.
I've got a little stat here from the Broadcom ones saying that the average American pays $231 a year for their set-top box.
Yeah.
Which basically results in about $20 billion a year in almost pure profit for the cable industry.
Fucking hell.
So that's insane.
$231 a year.
Yeah. Just to rent the set-top box.
That is ridiculous.
Yeah. I mean, like, I don't know about prices in the States, but the cable prices here are pretty insane unless you're a new customer.
That's insane. So like, I just did the quick math. You can get a high definition 2-screen Netflix and Amazon Prime, which allows you to also order things and get it next day for free, and you'll be saving yourself money.
Yeah, pretty much.
And then you can just have your Freeview on your TV.
Yeah. Or, stream Netflix and Amazon Prime.
Well, yeah, but I mean, like, sometimes, sometimes, because I got a signal booster recently for this exact reason. Sometimes you can't bother to pick something, but you just want something on in the background while you're having dinner.
Yeah.
And so that's what we've got this, like, that's what I use Freeview for, but fuck, it's mad.
Yeah, it's crazy.
Well, that's a nice way to end off, I think.
Yeah, I think so too. I can hear Hudson scratching at the door trying to get in.
Well, I mean, I'm going to verbally scratch at the door to get out. This has been marvellous. You get to edit this episode. So far, it's a lot longer than the other one. We have got quite a bit of stuff for me to cut out for you already, but enjoy that.
It's all right. It'll be 10 minutes long by the time I'm done.
It'll just be you, hello, and then me, hello, thanks for listening. Sweet. Okay, I'm going to hit stop recording now.